Alright, so we have a Lucio bot from silver actually, or like goldish level. So basically what you have to do as Lucio on like a very small scale is you really need to manage like how like when you want to use speed boost and when you want to use your heal, right? And I mean amp is also really important, but like first of all for like speed and heal, right? We're probably gonna speak about it a lot of times I expected in this VOD, but like basically like you need to really quickly decide when you want to use speed and when you want to heal, right? So you always need to be ready to just instantly change it. So when do you actually want to use speed? Well, basically if your team is moving. If your team is moving or if you're moving, like if you're pushing, if you're kiting, whatever, if you're chasing, you want to move. It basically other situation, you just want to heal. That's like basically it. You're moving, you want to speed. You're not moving, you're static. You want or you're fighting as well in like combat. You want to heal, right? Then other things you want to do as Lucio is um I mean the DPS they have right now is not really best example, but um what you also want to do is like help your team with like reducing angles. What I mean with that is basically if they have a tracer flanking, that's a pretty huge threat, right? She's just shooting you in the back, like they're probably killing your Mercy, like killing your Ashe or whatever. So this would be like your job to look around and like, just force out the tracer, right? Or if you see a Widowmaker, or in this example even a Hanzo, like staying on an angle, you want to be the person, especially in these like, I mean, if you play like Lucio Ryan comps, um, if you see Hanzo, for example, here on an angle, like shooting your team for free, you're just the person who says like no, like stop there, right? You're the person who's forcing the person back and denying the angle, right? So Lucio's also like no, so all about like denying angles, but also to is there to peel, right? The two things you want to remember is just peel and deny, which means like helping your backline to just live and like denying angles from the enemy team, right? This is a bit more like macro stuff, and like micro is like really deciding like when, like quickly deciding when do you want to heal, when do you want to speed, right? I'm gonna talk about amp if it's like, or like when it's necessary. Okay, this is just unfortunate. Um, so first things here is just they have fair, right? Which means heavy spam, but you as Lucio, I mean you can't do anything unless you want to be like really Reddit Lucio being like on the wall doing the pharaoh, I guess. But other than this, you just completely want to avoid the pharaoh, which means you just stay main. You like look at the like keep in mind like where the pharaoh is. You want to dodge her shots, and you just keep shooting main. Right, right now there's nothing else to shoot. You just shoot the Rand shield, but you just keep sticking to the same wall where Pharaoh is also spamming, so you immediately drop to 1 HP. And for this as well, it's like, is it actually necessary for you to use your amp here? And well, the answer is no. So it might be a bit scary for you because you're 1 HP, right? But right now in this position you're pretty safe, right? The enemy team just roll out. They don't really have the angles. They don't really have the space, right? The Ryan didn't even reach that choke yet. So you being here, you're pretty safe. No one is shooting you. But the biggest thing, first of all, The other thing is like you have a Mercy beside you, right? I mean, right now she's resing, but after the rest she can just heal you. That's just no problem, and you also heal yourself. Then the other big thing though is, um, I mean, I guess if you are critical, like really low HP, or if you have like one other person of your like one just one person of your team being critical, it's sort of fine to like amp heal to just save this person if they are an like active threat, right? If you just like you hiding behind cover, you're not getting shot at, and you need to use amp. The but like how you usually want to use amp or like amp heal specifically is just if you have multiple people of your team being low, right? I mean, you don't need to wait for your whole team to be low, but like two, three people, if they're like low, like half HP, um, then it's the time where you want to amp heal, because then you actually get value out of the AoE, and you heal up a lot of people at the same time when they like actually need it. So this amp already is wasted, and you only use it for yourself. So it's a very selfish usage, which means if anybody of your team now, if your Ryan gets a lot of damage, you have to play like Lucio Mercy, which is pretty low heal and a pretty trashish Ryan. But okay, but like you can expect your team to take a lot of damage right now, right? They're going through the choke. There's a fair spamming, but like if now your Ryan goes like low HP, your Junkrat maybe takes a rocket, or like you also take damage, like now you don't have it anymore. For this as well, or like for this one, you switch to heal, to speed, but what's the reason here? What is the reasoning for you being on speed here? Because your team is not moving. Maybe you want to help the Ryan go behind the corner, but I mean that's not really your problem, honestly. Like your team is like you see this, you just leave your team for a split second, and also being on speed, so your team is really low. Imagine being the whole time on heal and then also now having amp heal. Right, you would get so much ult charge and you would heal so many people at the same time. And now you also this actually would then also then so a situation where you should be on speed, honestly. Um, so right now your Junkrat is sort of fine, right? So your main concern is the Rhine. It's a bit it's a a bit problematic because I'm pretty sure your aura is getting blocked by the shield, so you can't really help the Rhine. But at least like there, you should be like ready to speed him out. Like if he wants to kite here, like he's low HP, he wants to go back, then he's moving, right? So you want to be on speed. Again, you amp heal for Ash, I guess. I mean, both of them were not low, like not really low. So it's again kind of a wasted amp. Another thing I just noticed here, like the whole time here, is you're just not really aggressive at all. Like you play really safe, and you're not really going for damage. So like right now, for example, they're not really pushed forward. So you could have maybe looked to like just quickly go for an angle, like go like maybe here a bit, like force out the Haas, shoot the Haas or so, and then like join your team. Right, but you're also not shooting anything, honestly, just in general. And then what I said with like going this angle for like the Haas is really aggressive, right? Pretty risky as well. But I mean, you would at least shoot something. Like the whole time, you're also going inside. You're not even shooting anything. You're not shooting anything. And now the rest of the team, they went main, right? But like look at this Zarya. She's flanking. Honestly, you should go for her. She's high charge. Maybe not, maybe not. But at least you should keep an eye on it. Right? You saw her going this way, so you should keep an eye on it. So you're ready to at least like pressure a bit. Maybe you force out the personal bubble, and like you boop her away, so she can't do that. Right? This is part of your job. Denying space, right? Denying flankers. So if the enemy team is just standing here, not doing anything, and you can't do much against Pharah, but like there's Zarya is flanking, so you should be the one who is doing at least something, right? I guess it's a higher charge Zarya, so it's pretty difficult to, I guess, survive. But you also have amp heal. You can like utilize walls, so make it like harder for it, harder for her to hit you because you're pretty slippery, right? But all you do is like boop her away. You just need to pressure her a lot more. But it's overall, I'm just missing the overall aggression, especially if you are in like lower elos, or like bronze or silver we are like low gold or so. Um, you can be really aggressive because people are not really that good mechanically, and you need to think or you need to see it more from an eye from like a top 500 player. Right? Would a top 500 player just sit here in the back line, not shooting anything, like just giving one boop to Zarya, not doing anything? No, of course not. They would be way more aggressive and they would look to pump in a lot of damage. Right? That's how you basically win games for damage. Right? But I miss the aggression with you. I miss the the actual dealing damage part, which yeah, you kind of forget as Lucio. Speed was fine. The amp was fine because your Ryan was critical. Mm. So when they shattered, look to. I mean, your awareness is a bit off here because you didn't realize that the Lucio got shattered. And if you got like any CC ult, like shatter or like grab or so, you should always focus the squishies first because you kill them way faster. And Zarya might have personal. Yeah, she has it. So you should always focus the squishies, right? And then, mm, I'm sure. I think I think I would like you to play again like a bit more aggressive and like also just use walls, right? So like right here, you could try to just keep staying on payload, shoot the Lucio, and like maybe wall climb to yeah like wall right to this wall, which means like you will still be in range. Like Lucio's range is pretty big. You will still heal or speed your run, but you would be directly behind the enemy team, which first of all makes it pretty hard for them to like do something because they have to turn around to shoot you, and then also they have to shoot a Lucio. And then second is you could also boop someone into your run, right? If this Lucio is like, oh no, I wanna like go back, kite him, you just boop him into your run again. Technically, if he's not getting charged, obviously, right? But right now you could have been here, like shoot the Lucio, help shooting the Lucio. You would not be shattered. You could actually deal damage, and like also like just shoot the Ryan in the back. right? He can't shield you when you're on an angle. Like be here, right? I mean now you're dead, right? But like he's 1 HP. If you would have shot him in the back, he would have definitely be dead. That's you. Oh, I actually want to see the rollout. You can work also a bit on your mechanics. Yeah. I guess this is just stall, but it's just the same thing again. You go out, right? You just boop people, but then you just go back to cover. Like I need you to be way more aggressive. Like I need you to like boop people, use the wall to go into their faces, and just straight up duel them. Like do you know how hard it is for Hanzo to hit a Lucio who is like all over him? I need you to be way more aggressive. Like go for actual kills. But like you're not really focusing anything. You're not really dealing damage. You also don't. I mean, you look a bit lost. Like what you actually want to shoot. Nice. You actually turn around. Okay, be on speed. Help your Rhine get the staggers. Ah, lucky. That's fine. Mm, that was a very preemptive amp. Um, I mean, right here, I'm not sure what are you doing here. Like why are you on this side of the map? Why are you trying to wall right here? Just be here. Just stand around and shoot main. Like shoot the Rhino shield or like try to kind of spam out the Hanzo in a sense, right? And also be like here, try to dodge the like be on speed and try to dodge the fair shots, but like deal more damage, right? But instead you're like wall running here, and you're trying to snipe a Pharah, which I mean you're probably not going to hit her. And then you hear the dragon, but because you are just behind a wall, you don't see it at all. And then you use amp speed for a dragon, which is just easy dodgeable, right? So you waste 12-second cooldown just to dodge something you could have dodged anyway. And now, like, look at this. So, ideally, you should be, like, again with them, and then kite with them over here. And, like, after the dragon here, you should have amp healed them. Because you have 2 people critical. And if you would amp heal right now, that would help your team a lot. Also, for the peeling part, right? If you're closer to your team, and if you're not would have got split from your team, you also would help your team with taking less damage in a sense of you booping the Rhine away, right? I mean, he's in trap or like booping the Hanzo away, like right, like try to kind of soft int on the Hanzo if that makes sense. Like boop him and like shoot him, and just disrupt them and make them not shoot your team. Mm, a very small thing I would add here actually is if you're like retreating, like that's fine, but like after this, like over here you like pretty fine I would say. You could turn around and try to backwards wall right. It would help you because you would actually see where the enemy is, and maybe you could like react on what they're doing, or maybe you see like the houses trying to shoot you, so you can like dodge it. But you're just constantly turning your back against the enemy team. You amp speed for no reason really. I mean, you're only healing up your hog, but like we have a Velk, and I mean it's a hog. he should take care of himself. Like he has breather as well. So wasting amp again. And then the time where you actually go aggressive, you're overextending, kind of. Right? If you want to go for these plays, or like if you have like your team here, the enemy team here, and you want to be aggressive, look to again like try to boot people into your team, which is hard in this situation, but just in general. Okay, booping a shield. Yeah. And wasting amp. And then, I mean, in theory, I could say like, okay, you maybe could have like tracked the shadow, like tracked the graph, like hide for it, which definitely could have been a play. But honestly, here you don't really need to think about it. If you also just try to wall ride a bit more, like wall ride in the right time as well, because if so, I'm just gonna show you. So they beat, they want to go in, right? But you see your Ryan also going in. Your hog is flanking, right? So your team wants to go in, right? So you can support them by going on this wall, for example. You can use this post to just stay here at the corner. You can just um, all the time just keep shooting, and the benefit is just because you're sticking on the wall, you will still heal everybody because your aura is not a circle, it's a sphere, right? It's not only like this, it's also this. So you're just sticking to the wall, you're still healing, like speeding people, but again you're kind of creating kind of an angle on the enemy team, or like against the enemy team, which maybe you can like shoot above the Reinhardt, maybe you can like look this way, boop him into your team if he's close enough, but you also make it a bit harder for the enemy team to hit you. I mean, they have Pharaoh, so it's going to be maybe a bit more risky to do that. Maybe you want to play a bit further away, right? Um, but you just completely avoid just staying in open space, getting shattered. Mm. If you should only really go for like contesting Pharaohs if you're like really confident in your mechanics. Okay, any staggers? Yep. So it's like as a side note, also what Lucio's job is. Like you're a taxi. If someone gets a bad spawn or so, you should go back and like speed this person, so you can have a 6-man team fight faster. Also, I just want to mention, um, oh, that actually was your second beat. Okay, never mind. Yeah, now you're taxing. Your soldier is speeding, but okay. Okay. Uh, Iron team's not really doing much. It's going to be hard. It was fine, but then so that's in. You have your Rhine. You kill theirs, and then this, for example, would be then a situation again where you could look to be more aggressive and look to go for like angles, right? Instead of being so far behind, you could look to like go over here, maybe like wall right in this corner, maybe like go here, like go this corner, and like shoot the Zarya from here, right? Make her turn around, or like boop her in, right? Also, just a small thing for this as well. If you see something like this, um, then I would say honestly, just help them. Like if you see one like a person flanking like this, while like your core, your Reinhardt here, your main tank, isn't really doing much, you could like try to wall right here, go on the high ground, and then try to support this hawk here, so he can do more work on his flank or on his off angle. You would just do a little bit more with like supporting your team instead of staying main, being on heals when your Ryan is not like doing anything. Nice shatter. Mm. So this is just another example with you just not being aggressive. So actually, let me see the Hanzo. I actually didn't see him before. So the Hanzo flanked and like killed your Ashe and Mercy, which is very unfortunate. Um, you had the right idea. Like you going on high ground here is really good, but he also just jumped off, so that's fine. But then the other thing is, so your Ryan shatters here, so it's a 30-man shatter, right? So your team wants to be really aggressive, right? You just want to follow up on the shatter, and you just want to kill these people. Which means for you, basically, I want you to amp speed, so you can go in, and I want you to go over here, and then shoot these people from here, right? Instead of being on card, where you not really shoot anything, and then Ryan is out of your aura, and you're just getting distracted uh, by the dragon, which also got one like got shot main. I think in general, I just want you to be like way more aggressive, especially in like low elo, not like as an insult, but like I mean that's where you are, right? You can be a lot more aggressive, just not not like that. Like you go in. I mean, I guess if the Rhino wouldn't have went back, you actually could have booped him, but you still need to watch out because if you just look at your positioning right here, that's really dangerous. This Hanzo could just decide to one-shot you. The Ana could decide to nade you or like sleep you. The Ryan could swing on you, and this is going to be really dangerous. But the idea was at least like really good. Right, you wanted to be aggressive. You wanted to go for this angle. You wanted to boop someone, to like kill the environment. So the idea was really good. Okay. Mm, so right now you're actually overstepping. So in this situation, um, your team is, I mean, you're not a full team. You're only Ryan at the supports. So what you guys basically are doing, you're just stalling the cart. I mean, your Ryan is also going back because he doesn't have shield, right? So all you need to do is just hide behind the cart and just play to live, right? You don't want to do like very crazy things. You just want to stall, but you overstep a bit, and because again you're just in front of everybody. Like there's just no other target for them to go on, right? Like the Ryan's just like, oh, there's Lucio. The Lucio will be, oh, there's Lucio. Sorry, it's like, oh, there's Lucio. Hans is like, there's Lucio. We can shoot him. Right? There's just no other target. Now your Ryan actually goes in. Uh, you try to save him. Your mistake with the beat is just you wall right, and then you beat, which is a mistake because you put yourself upwards in the air, which increases your cast time. Because you need to beat the ground, and if you're like very close to the ground, the beat is getting dropped very early. But if you're just high up, you just need to fall down all the way. So I think if you wouldn't have wall climb there, you actually would have saved your run. Overall, I mean, this side you look pretty confused on what to do. So like basically what you should do is just like play to live and like look for opportunities to beat people while also dealing damage. Like it's a lot of stuff you like need to like keep in mind. Um, but I mean that's Overwatch, right? Just a lot of multitasking and just over time you just get used to it. And if you like actually focus on it, it will become just muscle memory. Okay, I mean this is just stagger. You boop them away, which is fine, but you're just not fighting as 6 people, which is unfortunate. Nothing really you can do. Okay, now you're playing with an Anna, which actually makes a lot of things more easy. Okay, so right now, what do you need to do? Like, what is your goal of like as a team? Did you see this? Just think about it for a second. What do you want to do as a team? Well, if you think like you have a Reinhardt, you have a Hog, right? You have a Kree. So what you want to do is you want to close distance, right? You're not playing Risa, you're not playing like Hanzo, Widow, so you want to get close, right? So your Reinhardt wants to meet their Reinhardt, and your Hog wants to like flank, right? Your McCree wants to be closer, so no fall off damage. Your Junkrat actually wants to be close as well to like hit his shots more easily. Your Ana wants to be closer to make like shots also be easier to hit, also to like increase nade accuracy, right? So how do you achieve that? Well, you want to close distance. How do you close distance? Well, I mean basically you just press W, right? But it's not only like pressing W, it's also just about like the the duration. Especially if you see the enemy comp with like Hanzo and Junkrat, that means they have a lot of spam, like a lot of spam. Which means if you take for this distance, if you take like I don't know 20 seconds, you will never do it. You will just never do it. You will just die. But however, if you do this in like 2 seconds, you will have a much better time. So what does this mean for you? Well, basically, don't sit on heels. All your team wants to do here is push through the choke, get to like the next section of the map, which is like behind the choke, which is like this corner basically, where you then can decide, okay, do you want to go like this? Do you want to go like this? Right? But it just requires you to be on speed. Right? But you're sitting on heels. You're sitting on heels, and it doesn't really make sense. Right? Your team wants to move here. You want to move. You want to move. Right? Are you in combat right now? No. You want to move. So you need to be on speed here. You just need to be on speed. And also just ignore all the damage your team takes here. You just want to need to move. You just need to close the distance. If you just sit here, you're just going to die. And if you take damage, you don't care. Let your Ana heal it. Just need to like. Why are you on heal? Stop being on heal. Do you see how much your Ryan struggles? Because you can't really go forward because he's so slow. Why are you amping? Why are you amping? Is your team low? No. Could you maybe save your crew? No, your crew was already dead. Yeah, he died here. Like you amp for nothing. I mean, it gave you a lot of ult charge to be honest, or like to be fair, but still it wasn't the best amp. Next thing then here again, you lost someone. What does this mean? You need to speed him. Right, you lost your Kree, so you need to go back. Because like I mean, look at the team. You're just standing there. You don't want to go through the choke right now. You also lost your shield here, so you just want to go back and like speed your Kree, so he's back with your team faster. Also, small thing but also important here is, so if you look at this, I want you to see how long you actually are in enemy LOS. So like you're just chilling here, right? But the enemy team could shoot you, right? Which is really dangerous because I mean you're not doing anything, right? And you're basically just waiting for the whole team so you can go in. But if you play an enemy LOS and you're just not respecting the Hans or like junket spam or so, then there's a very big chance of you getting picked, which delays just everything again. And here again, like, why are you in speed? Why are you in heal? Right? Your team needs to move. And I know you maybe just want to heal them because they take damage, but that's just not important. You need to close the distance. You need to go through the choke here. And you need to do that fast. By speeding them and by going through the choke fast, you actually reduce the damage your team takes. So you're technically healing them as well, if you think about it like that. But you just need to enable your team to just move, right? Like right now, your rank got nanoed, so you probably thought like, okay, he wants to go in, right? Which is true, but you would have need that like all the time. And also, you also being here and like amp speeding your team in, I would also be fine with it because the enemy team has just so much spam. Speed is fine. I don't really want to nitpick on that. Okay, nice kill. Pinpoint. Thank you. Ooh. What a cheeky little angle from the Hanzo. Okay, this is awareness as well, or like maybe like sound cue. I mean, I don't know what kind of sounds, or like if you're listening to sounds, or like if you use headphones or so. I mean, I would definitely recommend using headphones. But then maybe also just turning up the sounds a bit more, because maybe you hear it in the VOD, but do you hear the Hanzo? Like where's the Hanzo? Over here. And this Hanzo is just free shooting. So what you need to do is you don't care about main right now. You don't want to shoot shields. You just want to look up and like shoot the Hanzo. Deny the Hanzo from the angle. You don't want this guy over here, especially not just for free. If he just stands here for free, your team is just getting farmed, and you will have more problems. I just want you to be here, looking up and like spam the Hanzo out instead of just shooting main. Also, what I would add here, um, your team is just sitting on point here, right? So your team is not moving. So do they need your speed boost? No, they do not. They do not. Right? So switch to heal again. See? But like this is your fault. Again, why are you in heals? Like right now, then when your Ryan goes in, that's the moment where you quickly go to speed, because then you help your Ryan, you enable your Ryan to go faster, to engage harder. But the time before that, when your Ryan was just sitting on card, you don't need speed. Right? Right now your Ryan's wants to stabilize, so you're in heals. But yeah, this was tough. Okay. Team was a bit split, which is unfortunate. Okay. But for you again, is your team moving or is your team in combat? Look at your Ryan. They want to close distance still, right? They want to move. They don't want to be here. They want to be here and like smack their Ryan out. So you don't need to be on heals here. Also, like they're basically full HP. Your Ana can just kill them, but you need to enable your Ryan to like actually go on to something. If you understand. And so like right now, you can be on healing again. Why? Because your Reinhardt is just chilling behind the card. He's not doing anything. Like right now, you can switch to heal again. Right? Okay. He's not going in, so you go on healing. Right? Then other thing again I would mention. I mean I don't know why you go back so far, but it's just again with like your aggression. I just want you to be more aggressive again. I want you to go like more aggressive, like be on heal, maybe like amp speed your run in, go behind them, boop them, and like go for damage, right? I mean, I want you to sit here in the back of the enemy team. I want you to go back eventually, then as well, of course, so you don't die. But I want you to do something, right? Yeah, I mean, that was really nice. That was really good. That was really good. The Hanzo wanted to go for an angle. You see him, and you take the draw, right? Bit of mechanical problems here, but you actually cleared him off the angle, and that was really good. Okay, go on speed, you shattered. Nice, go forward, kill the Mara. Chaser, chaser. Okay, go back, go back. Nice. Nice hook. Uh, for this as well, just for like a small note, um, on this point. If your team has like bridge, and if you want to have like a more like really aggressive position, you could look to go like wall right onto this high ground, or like be somewhere here on this tower shooting, and then look to like boop people or like go like behind them, speed boost and like try to boop them off, right? And like if your team needs beat, you're just gonna beat on top of this and like everyone gets it. Just as a side note. Okay, I think the beat was fine. Kinda had to. I don't really like that you go back so far. I guess you're a bit scared or like you want to stabilize because you're pretty low. Um, but you have to realize that the fight is still not lost. Why? Because you still have a basically full HP Rodak using his ult here, and you still have Korean Anna shooting like free shooting from the back. It's like also just awareness of like how many people are alive, right? And you kind of need to see that. And you playing so far back, I mean, you can't really do anything, and you're not really supporting these guys because they don't need it, right? They can just be here, shoot something. But like, who actually needs to support here is the Rodok, right? He's in combat, he's doing stuff, he's ulting, so you should look to like immediately go back to payload and then try to support your Hawk here. Like go on speed, go to help your Hawk. Nice. And then for here, maybe you saw it again, but how much success do you think will you have if you just straight up run into a Moira Zarya? Well, probably not so much. So what could have you done instead? Well, maybe you heard it again, but like there's a Hanzo on an angle, right? And this Hanzo is going to be really dangerous because if he's just free, he will probably just kill your team, right? So instead of like if you actually see it, like if you're aware of it, instead of you just straight up blindly going into Moira Zarya, I want you to go on this Hanzo and I want you to try bully this Hanzo. Right? Because if you look at his PV, he's just shooting and shooting, just waiting for the Ana. But like he's so focused on the he even kills her. Right? I mean bad from Yana as well, but like this kill again could have been prevented by you. Because you just want to deny people again. Right? You want to deny people. You don't want them you don't let them like do what they want. Right? On Lucio you basically want to just bully people 24/7. Okay, any blade spawns? No. Okay. Okay, for the Ryan, beyond speed. You're again like your Ana can heal it. You don't and you're just like 10 HP. Just let your Ana heal. But you want to move, right? Your Ryan wants to move here. Okay, now he's just standing still for whatever reason. I mean, to be fair, he's not really doing anything. But then on the other side, you're also not doing anything. You're also just standing there looking at Ryan, right? Instead of looking for something you can actually shoot. Then you also you amp. Let me go over here. You amp speed. You amp heal, but then um you let your Ryan walk out of your LOS. Right? This wooden door thingy blocks your LOS, which means you can't heal him any longer until now, until he goes back. So you basically lose a little bit of healing. You were also amping, so you were wasting, in a sense, a little bit of your amp. Uh, I don't like you just leaving your Ryan You was still doing something like being on an angle. Just support him. People on main are fine. They have the range. You don't really need to worry about them too much. Okay. I don't like your positioning. You way too far up. Look where your Ryan is. Also, again, speed boost. Your team is moving. You're moving. You're moving. He's nanoed as well now. And then for this, again, like be more aggressive. Ryan got pinned. If you were here, boop him off. Right, so right now your Ryan is fighting. Right now he's swinging on something, so you can be on heal. Right? Unless you want to go for an angle or like go for something else, like on the Moira or like bully the Hanzo, then you want to be on speed. Right? Nice tire. No, chase the Hanzo. Go for the Hanzo. Go aggressive, go aggressive, go aggressive. You should use these stone thingies, like wall ride, and to try to get like to the side or even like behind the Hanzo, so you can boop him in a position that is um, way more like dangerous for Hanzo. He wants to just go back like this, but if he's getting booped like even off the map, like even have to like use a cooldown or like wall climb or like you boop it into your team, you just increase the time for him to be in a dangerous zone. Or on the other side, you increase the time um, for your team to kill him. If that makes sense, if that makes sense. I think the wording was a bit weird, but I hope you get it. That was questionable engage. Like you went in front of your team into a Hands of Alois to boop Azaria backwards? Question mark. That was a nice attempt. That was a nice attempt. But then for this as well, who's right now on an angle? Who's angling your team here? Who's actually dangerous? Who's threatening your team? Well, like the Hanzo, right? Which means like go for him, go for him, bully him, bully him. Wall right over here, boop him, duel him. Just go for him. Okay, now you kind of need to be on cart. Uh, nice speed, but again, you're too long in the open. If you stand on payload and you beat from here, like look how long you're just in the air. Just some like pro tip. If you start the beat from a lower level and then you jump with the beat on a high level, you will actually hard decrease the cast time. So if you just stand here in the open and you use your beat, it will take a little bit longer in comparison with you beating on a high ground. Beating on a high ground will decrease the cast time actually. But then instead what you're doing is just, I mean, being on the high ground, beating on the low ground, which is it's just not good. It takes so long for the beat to go off. Okay, nice boop. That's really good. That's really good. I want to see more for that. But I also wanted to. I want you to shoot people. You need to shoot more. Okay, that's unlucky. Okay, so what I want you to take out of this, or like what you could work on, is just straight up be more aggressive. Right? Um, work a bit on mechanics, on like aim for Lucio, on like wall ride, and just be more aggressive. Right? Just int on people, like bully people, and just deal more damage. Right? Be a little threat, like be kind of like a little tracer. And then the Another thing is um, try to be more aware of who's threatening your team and or like more specifically like who's threatening your team from a different angle, because it is your job to deal with those angles and to make sure that your team is safe. And then just like micro things is just like, I mean, don't waste amp and just really get this balance of like when do you actually need to heal, when do you actually need to speed, right? If your team is moving, then you need to speed, and then basically in every other situation, like if your team is just standing on a corner, or if you're stabilizing there, if you're just holding space, or if you're in active combat, then you want to be on heal, right? And then also don't beat off high grounds. All right, thanks for watching.